CM Punk is hurt and out of WrestleMania 40, confirmed. Now he and Seth Rollins might not make it to WrestleMania 40. CM Punk for sure, Seth Rollins for maybe. Oh yeah, and then there's a big old scandal going on in WWE right now. Forgot about that. And that also happens to involve one Brock Lesnar, who was penciled in apparently to be a big part of WrestleMania, and now he will probably not be at WrestleMania. So where do we go from here? We thought we had one of the biggest main events coming up. Probably night one. It was penciled in to be CM Punk and Seth Rollins. CM Punk did not win the Royal Rumble, so we were gonna get that next story, right? What was the next step to get him there? Nope, put the brakes on because he tore his damn triceps, and it's gonna require surgery. He's more than likely to be out for at least 4 to 6 weeks. 4 to 6 months, which means he will not be at WrestleMania 40. Gave a nice promo on this past Monday Night Raw, explaining all that. And so, what the hell is going to happen to the World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania? What's going to happen to the Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania, as that was being reported by multiple sources, that was going to be Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, something that had been anticipated for a while. Of course, Brock Lesnar, because of the scandal and the issues there, was kept off of the Royal Rumble and was given that spot by Braun Breaker. So does Braun Breaker get that spot? Let's talk about it. Let's see what we all think about what the hell is going to happen to WrestleMania 40, because this affects everything. These injuries and everything affects not only the World Heavyweight Championship, but it could affect the WWE Championship too, right? Maybe. But we'll start off here with Cheese, man. Where do we go from here, man? Where do we go with the World Heavyweight Championship? That's the big one, because that's supposed to be a main event at night one. I mean, what does that look like?
Let me start with a victory lap first, because
Ooh.
I told you the Tribal Cheese bats 1,000 for 1,000. I told you that CM Punk was not in ring shape. He was not fit to be in that ring. He had ring rust.
Mm-hmm.
He came in 27th. He had a short. WWE knew this. That's why they kept him on ice. That's why as they signed him, he wasn't doing too much on TV, because they were trying to let him get some time, get work back in. Don't get me wrong, the man is 45 years old. It's a lot to ask out of him right here, right now, but his first match back, he didn't have too many spots, and he already got injured. Out 6 months. Unfortunately, the best in the world is aging just like the rest of us. So, but I told you, there was something going on. Something smelled cheesy. Anyways, where do we go from here, right? I have no clue. I am at a loss, because Seth Rollins does not want to drop the belt. And that means Seth Rollins is going to be at WrestleMania. Probably off TV till WrestleMania. Probably just doing his little dancing shenanigans from skyboxes. And, just doing his... I think this is a great way to use him. Is at least he shows up and he makes some promos and build some stories, although, maybe Damian Priest might change that between here and there. So many different things can happen in this story between here and there. But the one angle that makes sense the most, at least in my opinion, is the Drew McIntyre, despicable Drew McIntyre. They're setting him up. They're building him up as this disgusting human being that prays for people to be hurt and sleeps good when they get injured and they're out for 6 months. That's what we're getting. And who better to put that kind of opponent than the injured, hurt, fragile Seth Rollins, right? So there you go. That's your storyline, which is Drew's like, I'm going to hurt you, Seth. And Seth is this fragile creature that didn't get surgery on his MCL, right? Didn't work on his knee. And now he's got legitimate grounds for getting another injury, and you got Drew McIntyre there. So you're going to play this story up. probably makes the most sense. I think that with CM Punk out, Drew McIntyre's ready to step up. He's a big name. I think they didn't really have anything for him outside of this, so this probably makes the most sense. That's my guess right now is
Yeah.
you keep Seth on ice and you let Drew McIntyre continue to hurt his way through the roster from here, all the way to Elimination Chamber. I don't know how long you keep doing this, but Drew's got to solidify himself as a legitimate contender. Problem is, Seth beat him like twice already, right? So that's one thing that we have to take into consideration. But
Sure.
I'm open to it if Drew commits to this character. So that's where we go with. That's my opinion on where we go with Seth Rollins.
All right, sounds good there. So, Zero, where do we go with the proposed Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania 40, which was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus uh, Gunther? Where do we go with that? Where do you think Gunther's place at WrestleMania is now without a big superstar program anymore? Or maybe, right?
Tell you something, Johnny T. Yes, Brock Lesnar will be out for WrestleMania, and it was, we did heavily predict that Gunther and Brock Lesnar would have a match together at WrestleMania, possibly closing out the show, if not then co-main eventing the show. But I do like the idea of giving Braun Breaker a chance. You know what I mean? He came in there and he had a strong showing in the Royal Rumble. He's only, at least for me, I've been expecting him to move up to the main roster for some time,
Yeah.
and it's only a matter of time before we see him come in and dominate. I believe Nick say he was on the phone
Oh,
with
yeah. He
Braun
got a call.
Breaker at Monday Night Raw.
He got a call from
So
Braun Breaker. Maybe going to
yeah,
SmackDown.
so I mean, with that too, he could be also maybe going for the United States Championship if he's gonna be on SmackDown. That would make some sense too. But
Yeah.
yeah, as far as Gunther, uh, I'd still like the idea of you know I think Seth honestly should just drop the belt. I think he was hanging in there to let to give CM Punk a chance to, like CM Punk said. I mean, CM Punk pretty much gave away the plot for WrestleMania this year. He was like, I expected, after last night or after Saturday night to come back and, win the Elimination Chamber and put myself into the main event at
He
WrestleMania.
didn't he?
So yeah, I mean he revealed the plot, So um I mean
Man.
he's out. Seth's he's not 100%. I believe he's probably like maybe 50. He's not even 50%, you know what I mean? He's gonna drag an injured Seth Rollins to WrestleMania. As far as and that's another reason I don't think we're gonna get Cody versus Seth, which we saw Monday night, because
Mm.
it doesn't look like a strong case. Why fight why fight an injured deer when you're a lion when you can when you go after you want to be king of the jungle, you take down the king of the jungle. And
Sure.
Roman's fully healthy. He's not hampering any injuries. So yeah, I really like the idea of you know I like the idea of him taking on Roman. But as
Uh,
far as Seth,
yeah.
I really hope that he just decides to maybe play to this injury a little bit more. Maybe fake it like he got hurt even more now that CM Punk's out, and you know, throw Gunther in there. Let Gunther win the championship, and vacate the Intercontinental Championship, because we don't want Gunther to lose the Intercontinental Championship and then go and try to get the World Heavyweight Championship. It just makes him look weak. We want to see the dominant Gunther that has been with the Intercontinental Championship. He wins the he wins the right to win. He wins the right to face off. Um, I don't know, Drew McIntyre for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
heavyweight
Yeah. Yeah.
championship,
Yeah.
and we go like that. I think that makes for a much better storyline for the top names that we have right now.
Yeah.
So
I see.
I would
So
love to see that.
yeah. So see what you're doing right now is I think what the WWE is trying to do right now with themselves and scramble with all of these ideas because everything seemed to be set in stone and we were about to get, in my opinion, were one of the best WrestleMania cards possibly in history had everything held. Now it's not. So now you got to scramble all the way around, right? And how does this affect the other championship match, Cody versus Roman? Is that still where we're headed? I think so. I don't think anybody denies that's not where we're headed. They teased us a little bit on Monday, telling us that it could be different, right? Maybe Cody goes against Seth. Everyone was saying no. The crowd was saying. The crowd was.
Don't get me
no.
wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Seth put up one hell of a promo, and made me as a fan think, hey,
maybe so, but
Seth isn't the under champion. You know, what I mean, he's not the Intercontinental champion. He's a world champion. But he's an injured champion.
Yeah.
You know, we want to see the best of the best versus the best of the best.
Yeah, and we've been setting up. The story for 2 years now, right? Why would they not do it? But sometimes things happen in this business that require changes across the board to make everything work. So who knows at this point what they decide to do. If they did decide what's best for business is to go with Seth versus Cody and ask The Rock if he'll do the favors at WrestleMania because what we wanted is not going to happen. I could see that happening too, whether we like it or whether we want it or not. I mean, everything is what's best for business, right?
But another thing too, Johnny T. We've already seen this match multiple times in 2023. You know, we had Cody versus Seth at the last WrestleMania. We had Cody with the torn pec versus Seth. You know what I mean? As far as topping that match, I mean, you can't because Seth's not even going to be 100%. So.
Oh, I understand that.
That's all what I got to say.
I understand that, and I don't think that that's where they're going with it. I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate and saying when things like this happen, whether it's injuries or things that require a big chunk of your roster that you thought was going to be at your big main event, right? The biggest event of the year. You have to make changes, and you're going to make changes. I'm not saying that's the change that they'll make. I'm just spitballing because that's what we're all doing right here, right? We're all spitballing different things here when it comes to where we think we can go. I do think that Drew McIntyre, based on what he did Monday, if that's the Drew McIntyre that we're going to get going into WrestleMania, then I don't mind seeing that Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. But what if there was a triple threat match too? Maybe they decide to go that route to help out Seth because he can't go because he had a noticeable limp the other night, and it doesn't. I mean, is that going to change in 6 weeks? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But what a week it was for the WWE, going from getting the Netflix deal to having The Rock be a part of the newest part of the TKO board, to then having this big huge scandal hit them, which affected their business for 24 hours, and with pulling up Brock Lesnar on that, they lost Brock Lesnar with that, and then during that week we found out about at the beginning of that week too, we all found out about Seth Rollins, and then this week we have CM Punk. So what a 7 days it's been for WWE, who was on a roll. Royal Rumble was great, but this changes a lot of things, and I just like you said, Cheese. I mean, I don't know where they go exactly. We can have ideas and we can speculate, and that's what we're here for, to kind of give our opinions on where we think everything goes. But I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther versus Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that'd be kind of cool. What if we had Drew versus Seth and a cash in by Damian Priest in the middle of the match? That could be something they could roll with too. But the fact that we're not going to get the money match that we were all hoping for sucks. But the best thing we can hope for now is that Seth Rollins heals up, and that we can at least have one of those people show up to WrestleMania. And see where we go from there. Braun Breaker, I think, would be kind of cool to see him get his first like big. If you really want to sell that guy, maybe yeah. But if he's gonna go to SmackDown, I don't see how you make that happen then. So, but what you got? Well, what you got, Cheese? Got anything else on this stuff? Because I mean, this just sucks. It just sucks. I'm gonna tell you that it sucks because we had it, man. We had it all in the bag, and now I don't know. It's terrible.
Your mic's off.
I think we lost his mic. No, I think what he meant to say was, I love Drew McIntyre. He is great, and I hope he wins the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. That's what Tribal Cheese had to say. I think Gunther going up against Akira Tozawa is the thing. You see, he's even pointing to Akira Tozawa. But no, well, we seem to have technical difficulties there with with Cheese. So, Mr. Zero, give us some closing statements here on this thing, man.
Yes, I believe for WrestleMania we will see Pat McAfee make a triumphant return to the ring, and
all right, guys.
No,
right,
we are not doing that.
Hey,
we are absolutely not doing that.
Whoa, look who's back. Look who's back.
We are out of time on this video, guys. We're going to go ahead and give Seth Rollins our best wishes and CM Punk our best wishes, a speedy recovery for both guys. Get back to us as soon as possible. And Despicable Drew, stay despicable, because I think we need your character to bring us home to WrestleMania this year, my friend. But until then, guys, I'm Johnny T. That's the Tribal Cheese with audio issues. And that's Mr. Zero. We'll see you guys next time. Okay, cool. What happened?